might be a little heavy on the hand, but I learned from living life on the land that when the flames get hotter, you move to deeper water. That's where I learned to sink and swim. And you know I don't really give a damn. But underneath I try hard as I can.
Take two.
When shit gets thicker, I reach for the liquor.
Let's go. Howdy. Welcome to this week's episode of Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. I'm your host.
I have one of my own beard hairs in my coffee.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Cool.
It's my beard hair.
Take three?
Nah.
Fuck it.
No, let's just go.
Yeah,
I'm the Jarl.
let's just go.
We're fucking here to party. Let's go.
Let's
New
go.
Year's Eve.
This is the New Year's Eve edition of VOC. So we hope you guys are buckled up for a bunch of shenanigans.
Evil shenanigans.
Well, yeah, maybe. Maybe I don't know. Something. What are you drinking? Well, it looks like you just pounded some coffee.
Yeah, dude, it's coffee. I'm running on energy drinks and coffee today.
Oh, hate and discontent. I love
Yeah,
it. I love it.
yeah.
Just got
Literally
ribs on.
No food in the tank. Just partying.
Solid.
Yeah.
I got some beer battered shrimp being made. Freaking little house party on the way that I can drive the side by side to.
Beer battered shrimp.
Yeah.
Wow.
From scratch.
That sounds yummy.
I'm super stoked about it. I'm not fucking gonna be probably inebriated by the time this podcast is done. Before that, we do that. So there's that. You out already? How did that not all come out?
Just trying to decide whether I want to fuck myself up or not.
Yeah, just fucking go for it, dude.
Should I? Should I just do it?
Fucking just
do it.
Fuck
This
it.
one's for the people.
For the people. Party people actual. We got a great cast today set up. So you're drinking obviously Crown. That's fucking weird.
Crown and Coke, dude. I'm trying to get rid of the Crown because nobody fucking
That's
drinks it. So
Yeah,
Crown and Coke.
Crown is a bad juju thing for me.
I mean, it's not good by itself.
No.
It's like for everything that Jack Daniels is, it is not good by itself.
Yeah. I got the Owens Rye whiskey tonight.
Is that the same one? Are you still working on that same bottle?
Oh, dude, I have had many other bottles in between.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like,
no.
You're making me feel really bad about myself right now. I got like a new bottle every fucking day.
Well, you are on a bender, so that's fair.
Yeah,
it's a holiday bender. Fuck it.
It's my 4-day year-ender bender.
I think I'm on day 3. I was talking to the boat about this. So I was like, dude, I don't know what the deal is, but lately when I drink just fucking these Goldies, I get fucked up on them. I get fucking smashed on them.
Oh my gosh, dude! Last one, it gave me allergies so bad.
Oh, dude, it's so crazy.
It was weird.
And I can drink whiskey all night, and I'll get drunk for sure. But and y'all have listened to us get drunk drinking whiskey many times. But it's funny because I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fucking deal is, but I've been going to bed at 9:45, smashed, and I start drinking at 7:30.
That sounds so nice, dude. I haven't been to bed that early in so long.
Bro, when I went and flew the Falcon on Friday, so
that was horrible.
Mother-in-law got here, Bev got here, and she showed up, and she bought 10 bottles of the Montana Honey Moonshine, which is one of my favorite whiskeys.
Whoa, that's a lot of bottles, dude.
Well, yeah, because she lives in Salt Lake, so she can't get it in Salt Lake.
Right.
You know. Anyway, so we started drinking, and then I started drinking, and then it was like, oh shit, I gotta get up and fly the Falcon, and so we delivered Christmas presents to everybody up here. And by the way, you should be jealous because it's Mona's sourdough, big giant loaf with some fancy bougie butter and some orange blossom honey.
Dang, yeah, that woman can cook some sourdough.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
She started her own business.
I know, I saw that.
So
excited for her.
I am too. Lots of entrepreneurs up here. I'm gonna be fucking super white by the end of this next year in my beard. Watch.
Think?
What? Yeah, for sure.
I have a long one. It goes from my jawline all the way down. I was like, God,
if you look at my
cut
beard,
that out,
dude. If you look at my beard, right? like there's a fucking streak of white that just comes down right here. Like the
Maybe
whole
it'll
thing
grow.
is turned.
Maybe it'll grow in like super cool, like the boat's gray hair did.
Oh man, maybe, but probably not. Knowing my luck, it's gonna be a streak of white, and on this side, I'm gonna get a fucking something other weird, crazy color that I actually think that I had in my
It's
genes.
gonna
But
it's
here
gonna
we
go
are.
black.
Yeah, fucking watch, dude. I'm just gonna be like, that guy. So,
Fuck.
yeah. So we got, it was Mona's, it's Vika's birthday, so I did a surprise birthday party. So Thursday started drinking, Friday continued drinking, flew the bird both days, completely hungover. Had to pull over driving out to the woods to throw up. Not like my normal
Oh, it's
hack up my lung, but like
like an
I'm
actual.
driving, like I'm
I'm
like,
puking.
oh fucking, it's gone. I was like, this McDonald's is helping me because it's expelling some of this danger.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Dude, it was fucking brutal. But Bird came back 3 times in a row. Pretty happy about it. She's back on
That's
her
good
back.
news. Yeah, she's still there.
She
She's getting
has
like fat and happy.
she's doing a lot of roadrunner syndrome. Didn't know how to kill a pigeon. So, the guy that I got her from, he had her for his breeding project for like 3 months, and he was like, "Hey man, since Bjorn died, you want to fly her?" And I was like, "Sure." Where'd she come from? So she was a wild take, meaning she was taken out of the Erie as a, they call them a fuzzy, right? An IS is what it's called. For anybody who actually cares. But anyway, so she imprinted on this dude, and he was like, "Oh, I flew her all the time. She knows how to kill." No, man, she fucking grabbed a pigeon in my garage. So I trained her to always be where I'm at because I'm the grocery store. We're working on a communication here,
Mm-hmm.
and she climbed on top of the pigeon. Pigeon is still alive, and she starts plucking the wing feathers instead of killing it. And she climbed on the stomach, which is not how they do it, because like falcons have a tooth right in their beak. So they'll climb on the back and they take the tooth and they separate or they immediately kill the bird by smashing that tooth in between the vertebrae of the bird that they just tackled.
Huh. I know that.
Super fucking metal stuff, right? But she's just like fucking plucking this pigeon wings out and eating it while it's alive, and I'm like, that's new.
Maybe
4 falcons.
she just likes playing with her food, bro.
Dude, in my mind, I was literally thinking of that show Misery with Kathy Bates, where she keeps
Oh
breaking the
yeah.
rider's fucking ankles and shit. I was like, all right. So it kind of brought like this whole realm around to me, like of like maybe women are just crazy on every aspect. Doesn't matter what species. I don't fucking know.
What is happening?
I'm like, in my mind, I'm like low key thinking like is gonna like,
She's gonna break your legs, bro.
yeah. If I
You
don't
gotta
get the
watch
fucking,
out,
if I don't get the shed done, man, I was totally not
dude.
gonna have knees. Fucking
Yeah,
too. This is gonna be
kneecap.
bad.
She's like, yeah, now
Gone.
you're building it in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Good luck getting up on top, bitch.
Good luck, bitch.
Yeah, and then just kind of this weekend's gonna been basically like one of those weekends where it's like you eat between drinks and naps.
Yeah, well, I haven't been off for like this many consecutive days. I think in like I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling to find what to do with myself.
Productive
And
stuff.
like yeah, like I'm like 9 days into 11 days off. So
Hmm.
I'm on day 9 and we went to a cabin
Hmm.
and fixed broken stuff and it's like it never ends, dude. So I
Mm-mm.
mean that I got to be a little bit productive up there, but the sun goes down so early and then it just starts dropping. I think it was like -5 the
Hasn't even
first
been
night we
negative
were up
once
there.
up here. Not
Yeah,
even
dude.
one time.
Well, and you got to figure like that's like almost 4,500 feet higher than where
Yeah,
you live and where I live too, because I think
yeah.
there's only like 200 feet
Well,
difference between you and I.
I'm at 4508.
Yeah, I think I'm at like 46.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, it's freaking like while the sun's up, it was like 40 up there,
Mhm.
and like snow is melting, and then as soon as the sun goes away, it's like cold as shit. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, dealing with like frozen gray water pipes, and I was like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Well, that sucks ass.
Yeah, but so
Well,
that was fun.
yeah. I have found recently that even though I loathe it, I'm apparently really efficient at building things now because I had to put that roof on. I put the roof on in 2 hours, the whole thing.
Now you're just bored, don't have anything to do. You should have drug it out and just
Dude,
like
no,
put beers on the different parts of the roof, you know?
dude, the whole goal for me was to freaking get it done so I could take a nap, right? And then this is a segue into the next section here, but and then all of a sudden I start getting these fucking text messages about our new sign. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh
that's bitching.
fucking bitching, dude. And I'm like, this is fucking so badass. So I'm like, okay, well, I gotta finish this so that way I can go do whatever dumb social media thing that I have to do. And so I'm like, all right, cool. This is the plan of operation. Okay, I'm gonna fucking get this done. So I just took all of the materials and I threw them up on the roof by myself. I was like, I don't really care. I can move things around while I'm up here, so I don't have to get down. Right, like everything you could possibly imagine. I had all up on the roof. Right. Um, no beer in the house. Super frustrated with this. So I had to, also was like, I don't want to drink whiskey on the roof.
Yeah, I could see how that'd be a little dangerous.
Right, a beer or two, fine, but whiskey. Listen, I can hold a coherent conversation pretty drunk, but I'll walk in cursive. And I don't
Walking.
need, yeah, walking,
Yeah.
climbing up and down a ladder.
At least if you
Yeah.
fell off, it probably wouldn't hurt until like the next day.
Or until I was dead, because I wouldn't fall off normal. Have you met me? What would fucking
That's true.
happen?
Yeah, you'd fall
It would
off
be
fucking like
some
you'd
super
scorpion
fucked up.
yourself on the ground.
Yeah, it'd be just like, oh hey, by the way, so somebody's gonna come up here and mix the honey, right? Because my back is fucked.
Fucked up.
So,
She broke my
uh,
knees anyway.
yeah. So I did that, and then we had the updates, dude. We had so many fucking crazy updates, right? So went out flying with the bearded bard off of TikTok, and he like taught me a whole bunch of stuff about like posting and all these other things. And then he posted, and we started getting like all these comments and likes on TikTok, which is crazy because I didn't post a damn thing. I just reposted it. I just do what you do. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
like the zero
That's what
effort.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Except
a little bit of effort that goes into it, but people don't want to see my face. They want to see your face.
let me have you, that might not all be true. I think there's this. They just don't know the joy that you bring to people.
The hate and discontent.
Just the hey, by the way, have you seen my shit face? It looks like my smile face. It's fine.
This is the same face.
Same face. So and then you know, I think his name's Tim. I don't know. I found him on TikTok, and he's like, "Hey, you want to see your son?" I was like, "Yeah." And so he sends me the first photo, which is just the Bearded Viking Mead Company logo with just red, and that looked fucking dope, right? Just by
Mhm.
itself. And then he created a whole TikTok reel, and then I posted it to like, I think I'm on like 9 social media platforms now, and like that isn't fast because like you have to write a whole bunch of hashtags and all this other fucking shit. And I started posting it, and then I got fucking stuck, dude, because like I wanted to just like study for global econ, but you know what's better than studying for global econ to finish a final in your master's degree? Scrolling.
Scrolling. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, it goes back to last week's episode. So
Right.
I I started scrolling, and next thing you know, like everybody's getting home from their girls' day, and I was like, ah, fuck, man, I'm a piece of shit.
You didn't do shit all day.
I mean, I did things that just not all the things that I wanted to do. I mean, I
Well,
flew
it's
the Falcon, fixed, repaired, or put the metal roof on, did some business stuff. I just didn't do the other things that I wanted to do.
yeah, it's kind of weird though because like this and like posting on the social media stuff. I guess maybe like it is work, right? But it's like one of those things that it's always just been like a leisure thing to do. So I guess maybe like having that mindset that oh, this is what we do for work now. I guess maybe a change of mindset. I'm like,
I don't know,
oh,
no,
okay,
because like it's not
okay,
like
maybe we work and this is how we work now. Like,
I don't know, man. I want to take that on, but like literally 4 hours of watching fucking people build primitive houses,
yeah, see, like you go down a rabbit hole and you're just fucking stuck, dude. Like,
dude,
so
for real stuck. And it's not like, and like you like it, and you're like, next thing you know is like you got like dude building primitive fucking fire like home in probably Virginia. And then it's like, oh, hey, by the way, have you seen the one in Phoenix? Have you seen the
Oh,
one in
and then
fucking
there's this
whatever?
Cambodian guy that made a swimming pool by digging a hole in the ground. Like,
Yeah, you're like, and then he hauled the
using
water
a
himself.
stick. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? And you're like, I wonder how many days this really took, because it feels like it takes like a week for them. And I'm
Oh,
like,
it had to have.
yeah.
So, sorry, I don't know how to work this thing.
Did you get a new watch for your Christmases?
No, I've had it. I just don't wear it often, but it keeps dinging and it's fucking with me. Okay, I think I fixed it. But this last week, I haven't been on it near as much as I usually am, just because we've been doing shit
Yeah.
and like going up to the cabin, and then we had our Christmas soiree here, and then like 2 days ago we decided that we were going to do a big 1920s Christmas New Year's party here.
Like the flapper?
Yeah,
Flapper.
flapper. Yeah. So
Solid.
so we're having people over here tonight. So it's just kind of like it's been fucking nuts.
I'm actually
But
really proud of us because we still continue to do the podcast.
well, it's like that change in mindset, right? That this is work now,
Yeah.
even though it's not really work. It's just
This
it's like
is-
hanging out.
Everybody's like, "Oh man, I love what you do in the podcast," and I'm like, "Dude, I don't do that for y'all. I love y'all, but I don't do that. That's my therapy. Like I gotta do the podcast to stay sane because it's fucking nuts."
You get to watch us just do what we would do anyway.
Yeah, for real. So, um, yeah. So I mean, piggybacking off of what you said, I mean, I've had. So first time in my entire career at the company I work for, I've had 2 back-to-back 5-day weekends. Like
Oh
all my
wow.
meetings were canceled,
Oh shit.
and I was like, I didn't even cancel. I'm the guy who cancels the meetings, and they were like, "Hey, we're not going to be there," and I was like, "Okay, cool. Neither am I then. I'm going to just do
Bye.
some stuff in the background. And stuff in the background, takes 4 to 6 hours for me to do, and I'm like, whatever." So then it's like, I can do that at any time during the day. Are you kidding me? Like
Right.
I can fucking live it up and do some stuff and then like log in and do some stuff. Ah, fucking
Right. You're like,
golden.
let's go.
Yeah. And like all of the contractors hit me up and they're like, "Hey, like I don't know what's going around, but there's a fucking stomach bug going around." Like I've had friends that have been down for like 2 to 3 weeks from it.
From a stomach bug?
Yeah. Like just
Like
fucking
puking and shitting?
yeah, like 2 of my friends who are super healthy people actually ended up in the hospital and had to get fucking IVs. I was like, "What is fucking going on?"
Holy shit.
I was like, "Have you tried not going around people?"
Fuck. Yeah, I hope I don't catch that one. That sounds sucky.
Last time I had the stomach flu was right after you had the stomach flu, and I came over and visited when it was all clear, but it was not all clear.
Yeah, apparently it was like on the couch or something.
Yeah, it was,
But I don't feel like I was that sick though. I feel like you got way sicker than I did.
no, it was the boys that were super sick. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I think I don't even think I ever got sick.
no, you got sick. You said you just had like the 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 things that come with the flu, but not the puking. The other things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Like come hold my feet. I
yeah,
gotta work
yeah,
this out.
yeah, right. And then I left. It was like right before Thanksgiving, and then I left, and dude, I was going to pick up the girls for Thanksgiving at the airport, and I had my dad with me, and I had Vika with me, and I was like driving. I was getting on the on Bangor Highway off 106th,
Hmm.
and I literally opened up the door and just died at the stoplight.
Fuck.
My dad and I did a fucking Chinese fire drill so we could go get the girls.
Oh
Came
shit.
back and everybody got it. I was like, this is fucking bad, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember the boys like puking though. I don't know. It like
It was like
all that
4 years ago.
all that shit fucking hits people so different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if it was that long ago, then CETA was like a baby.
Yeah, it was like I think Sam got it pretty good and Justin got it, and you were just fucking struggling.
I just
Just like,
fucking was like trying to stay away from them, try not to
like
catch their plague.
yeah, probably, but you can't in the house. It's not
No,
possible.
it's just the house is not big enough for that.
Yeah, you have to be in zip codes to do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if you're in the
But
same city, they'll come visit you.
Yeah, I haven't been like super duper sick, like knock on wood, for fuck, maybe since like 2019. Like there's days where I'm like, fuck, I cannot work, like I can't focus because like got, you know, a man cold or something,
Mhm.
and you're just like, this is not fucking worth it. Even though you work from home, you're just like, fuck it, I'm not working today. Like I feel like
Yeah.
dog shit. But like sick, like down for like 2 or 3 days, probably like 2019. Like when I think I got COVID
Mhm.
before COVID, you know.
Yeah.
But that was like a 3-dayer, and it sucked because I was just
I
fucking tired.
Dude, I've been sick 3 times total in the past, or 4 times total in the past 5 years. The one sickness we just talked about, and then I got the original Rona,
Mm-hmm.
right? Actually, back that up. When I was in London, I got sick, real bad sick. Like I had 104-degree fever and had to go to the doctor.
Yes, just boiling brains.
Yeah, and so I had to go to the doctor. I felt like dying when I was living in London, and then I just sweated it out because I'm a grown man who it was probably like really like a 97-degree fever. But but I mean, really, dude, it was fucking terrible. And then I got the original COVID, which was fucking brutal. And I was in the middle of the 75 hard. Remember that?
Oh yeah, you were
And I had
chatting it up.
fucking Chad like a motherfucker. And I was walking. It's like to do the instead of going to the gym because I'd been super religious about the gym. I walked up and down the stairs for 45 minutes in my house. And dude, I made it like 10 times. I was like, this is
Oh
fucking.
yeah, oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna fucking
So
die.
tired,
So
so
tired.
tired.
And then I did just dude, I was just out so for my outside workout, I just went in the backyard and I just did yoga because it's all I could fucking do. But I
That shit was still
died.
so tiring.
So tired. And then I got the vid again last year. And that's pretty much it, man. I don't really get sick very much because I'm always outside. I'm always doing shit, you know. I don't just think if you're active, you're less likely to get sick, you know.
Yeah, dude. And I think like even like I think with that being like the last time I really got freaking sick, I don't remember it being like super like head cold or anything like that. I just felt like weak. I'm just tired of shit. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this fucking sucks, but like
Dude,
whatever.
with the Rona, everybody was like is always super worried about like, you know, death and all that shit, which is whatever, teach their own, and fear is just the lack of knowledge, right? But for me, whenever the Rona comes and hits me, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna pay you a visit this year because it's like the flu or whatever now,
Hmm.
right? Because it's never gonna end. Um, it's the body aches, dude. I literally every time I feel like like there's one pain in this world that I will never deal with again if I don't have to. I had 2 kidney stones at the same time,
Oh fuck.
dude. And like it felt like I was so sore. It felt like I had kidney stones. Like I thought that I had kidney stones. And I was like, I drink a shitload of water. I don't even fucking drink energy drinks and I barely drink pop. Like, what the fuck is going on? And so I was like, fuck, dude. Like, and I just remember like every movement from my entire body, like, all my joints hurt. And I was like, fuck this, dude. This sucks balls. Like, whoever invented this, you're all dick bags.
You guys suck.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck being sick. I think I have like the most ass backwards like sick remedy is, and it probably doesn't work. It's I don't know. It seems like it's worked for me, but like if I feel like the sniffles coming on, like the starting of the man cold,
Hmm?
like I'll go like pop an Allegra and then take like all the fucking vitamins
Oh,
and
dude,
then
that
and then
vitamin
get
C
and
blast
then
kills it.
and then get shit canned off whiskey, dude. So like my body doesn't know whether I'm trying to kill it or whether it should kill the virus or it should kill me, and just I think it just gets confused and it
Dude,
just dies.
I'm a firm believer if you have the stomach cold, you should get fucking smashed because the alcohol will kill everything in your gut.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm like, if the alcohol
Oh.
doesn't do it, the vitamins will fucking do it. So
Yeah, let's
I
fucking tag
mean,
team this shit.
I'm no fucking doctor, but I'm trying to work it from both angles, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Nobody
even
can
want
fuck
half,
me like me.
I don't even want half the shit the doctors prescribe anymore. Like my dad got put on Augmentin, which has been around forever, right?
Yeah, isn't that shit like super bad for you?
Yeah, so well, I did, you know, for the longest time they didn't know because why would they do a study on what's good for you? Uh but like he got put on Augmentin and it killed all of his fucking good bacteria in his
Yeah, all
gut.
the good biome.
Yeah, and so he had to like he was on a fucking yogurt and uh kefir, kefir diet for like
Oh
a
yeah,
week
yeah.
and a
I know what you're
half.
talking about.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong, that shit's fucking delicious. But like, I want some steak. I don't give a fuck about yogurt.
Right.
I want steak. I
Yeah,
want
that
meat.
sucks.
I'm a
Like
fucking carnivore.
put yogurt on my steak.
Fuck no. It's like the people in the Midwest. Did you ever go to Wisconsin or something like that? And you order a steak and it comes out with brown gravy in it. Like, what the fuck is this?
No, I've never. Nuh-uh. Never.
Yeah,
Don't put gravy on my steak, dude.
dude.
Like
I've
if it's not good enough to stand up on its own, dude, I don't want it.
just tell me up front. Do you put? And I always tell them like, hey, do you put gravy on steak? Because I've been to the Midwest so many times now. I'm like, dude. Okay, listen. Y'all are good at cheese and you're good at drinking, but your steaks are fucking fine without brown gravy. And if I say that I want mushrooms and fucking caramelized onions on top of it, that doesn't
Mhm.
mean add brown gravy to the mushrooms and caramelized onions. Fuck off. Leave it alone.
I it was funny. So we came back from the cabin, and I was like fuck, dude, like let's go do something. Let's go to dinner or something. And like I made a bunch of suggestions, and Justine did like the typical like woman thing. Well, I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm like, okay, well, what do you want? And I was like, let's get classy. Let's go to Applebee's. And she's like, that actually sounds pretty good. So we went to Applebee's, and they fucking like the big old dollop of like garlic butter on the steak, and like you can get like a good like mediocre steak from Applebee's, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's get fancy. Let's steak and shrimp it up,
Dude, speaking on that same thing, right? So most underrated salad bar ever is the Sizzler salad bar.
I don't even know if we have a Sizzlers anymore.
Yeah, there's one on 90th and State.
That's a long ways to go for Sizzler.
And there's one on 78th and Redwood.
Still a long way to go for Sizzler.
I'm just letting you know.
Like you
It's
got to
still
be in
there.
the neighborhood. You're like, huh? There's a Sizzler.
I grew up with my grandma would always take us to Sizzler, right?
It's
And,
cheap.
like, she'd
you
be
got to
like-
feed a bunch of kids.
Well, it was just me and my little brother, so it wasn't crazy, right? It was just the two of
Oh,
us,
yeah.
right? And so we would go to Sizzler, and she'd be like, "You can get whatever you want," and I was like, "I'm just gonna get the salad bar," because they got like a fucking taco bar, dude. They got a fucking chili bar. They got the fucking the dessert fucking bar, and it wasn't like when you go to like Chuck-A-Ram or anything like that, where like somebody's gonna cut some shit for you. But like I used to make these fucking giant salads, and I would take all of the ham and bacon and fucking just all of it and just basically dump it in, and it was like salad, right? And then I would just have like fucking 4 or
Yum.
5 tacos. And it was fucking perfect. Like I never even got to dessert because it was so good. I mean, I don't know.
I don't
still
think
do
I've
the same
eaten.
thing.
I don't think I've eaten at like a Sizzler or Chuck-A-Rama in probably 20 years, 25 years. Like it's.
I have one rule if I ever go to a buffet, right? This is one rule that was taught to me by like these wise old men who pissed my dad off all the time, all these firefighters, right? So we go to Hometown Buffet before it turned into Golden Corral or whatever the fuck it's called now. So we go to Hometown Buffet, we walk in, and like there's like all these different stations and everything else. And this firefighter looks over at me and he's like, "You should go to the dessert bar first." I'm like 14. Like, what are you talking about? That's not normal. He's like, "Get the dessert out of the way and then fill up on the savory shit, bro. Trust me." I was like, okay. So I come back with
It's kind of a genius idea,
It's
right?
fucking smart, right? Like you get your fucking treat up front and then you fill up with the shit that keeps you going later. And so that's what I do now. Like I do that now. And you should have seen the look on my face or my dad's face. He was like, "What the fuck did you just tell my son?" And like the guy's like, "Trust me, it'll be fine." So I went and I got like a fucking sundae. I made a sundae, right?
Mhm.
Snarfed that bitch down. And then I just fucking went and got like all the steaks and all this other shit. And I was just like, we're fucking golden, man. Like, and now I just can't go
It's
to a
good.
buffet.
You got all the sugar. Now you're getting all your salty shit.
Yeah, now I'm fucking filling up with the good shit, right? The sugar's gonna run through my system. I'm gonna go into like it allows the food coma to set in like an hour later. So you get home and you're fucking night night.
You're just
I'm fucking good. The sugar
Just
high
going-
wears off. It's like perfect, dude. It's fucking crazy. So
Now I just want to go to a buffet.
I mean, who does like buffets these days are way better than when we were
I
kids.
haven't been to one. I gotta class it up some more and go to a
Oh, yeah.
buffet again.
Well, you just got to go to go to Vegas and you hit one of those bougie ass
Oh,
buffets.
dude, those are so good. There's a good one in Reading, or not Reading. What is it?
Like California?
No, it was was it the Red Lion or something like that? It's kind of like on the outskirts of Vegas, and we
Hmm.
stayed at like this Marriott resort that's kind of away from everything.
Mhm.
And dude, it was the bombest buffet ever. It was so good.
The
It's very
best
classy.
buffet I've ever been to. So I did a color guard for the Stein Eriksen Lodge.
Oh wow, nice name drop.
Yeah, I had no idea what it was, right? No clue. I've never been on, dude. I was like, for the longest in the military, dude. I was like, dude, we're going to like up Chuckarama. That's a fucking expensive fucking trip, right? In my mind, right? And then I
I
go,
think it was like always kind of like low key expensive, but you got your
you got,
money out
yeah,
of them.
it's like the balance, right? Like, it's not like I'm Homer Simpson lining my fucking pockets, taking with Ziplocs and fucking rolling out, right?
Right.
Right? No. So like, so let me paint the picture for you with my colorful words, right? Let me Bob Ross this bitch up for you and tantalize
Oh
your taste
shit! In a
buds.
happy little cloud.
Happy little cloud. So, we do the color guard, and like, here's 2 gift certificates for each of you to come to the Stein Eriksen Lodge. And I was like, for what, man? Like, I don't fucking come up here. Like, this is bougie shit, right? Like, a room is like $500 a night. That's not even a fucking nice room, right? Like, it's a room. So I'm like,
Just a room.
okay, cool. So, I go on a date and I roll up there, and dude, at the beginning of the buffet, they have fresh king salmon right next to the
Oh
king.
shit!
Yeah, dude. Right next to the king salmon, they have a giant thing of those bougie ass cans of caviar that you could just pop.
Damn.
And I was like, what the fuck? King crab? This is for a fucking brunch buffet.
Damn.
Oh, I was like, okay, cool. So you walk down the line and you're like, I'm gonna try that, I'm gonna try that. And then like you get to the pastries, bro. I ain't ever had pastries like that, man. No, I can't. I like for a buffet, let
That's
alone in my
pretty low.
lifetime. Right? And then and they're like, hey, we're gonna custom make you an omelet, and they're whipping the eggs, like,
Oh yeah.
dude, like whipped egged omelet, right? And like you're like, I need more cheese, and they're like, how much cheese do you want? Do you want like 2 ounces? Do you want a
I
pound?
want this much.
I was like, make it cheese with eggs, not eggs with cheese. Like that's, and can you put some bacon in there? Yeah, yeah. Do you want some prime rib on the side? Like, uh, yeah.
Why don't you do that?
So I literally stayed there for 4.5 hours
It's a lot.
because they were feeding me free booze. Like any booze you wanted was free.
Did your uniform fit after?
Oh yeah, because I was like fucking 23 and fucking ripped, dude. I could fucking like, just my body was like, hey man, fucking all that. Thanks for all that energy. Let's go run 3 miles. And I was
Fuck
like,
that.
oh fucking all right, cool, we're in. No, dude, it was the best buffet ever. So, if you ever get a chance and you can save up and take out a small loan, go there. It's like $200 a plate.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's like eating at Ruth Chris.
yeah. Except for with Chris was really good steak, and that was just really good, fucking all of it.
All of it. It had
Yeah,
some good whiskey too.
yeah. That Eagle Rye, Eagle River, Eagle
Angel's Envy.
whatever it is. Yeah, that one.
Mhm.
Super off. Samsonite. That was way off.
It was right there on the briefcase.
Yep. We got some cool things coming up. Super excited about this. So if you are listening to us in Texas, by the way, we will be in Texas from the 1st to the 7th of February.
Yeah. That's
It'll
gonna
be a
be
lot of-
it's gonna come up really quick too.
Yeah, and if you're lucky and you get invited, we'll have some apple pie mead. We'll probably have an OG, some tier.
1st to the 7th? Are we really gonna go for a whole week?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
We got a lot of people to talk to. There's a lot of people who want to. So we're going to be on the Truth Tall Tales and Whiskey podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to be meeting up at Deep Ellum with Michael Summers for a gig, and then I think Martin Antonio is going to be playing as well during that time frame while we're down there. We'll see. And we got to meet. We're doing a brunch or lunch or whatever it is
We're doing a brunch.
with the Swedish redneck.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The Swedes down there. So
Nice.
that's be awesome. And then a whole bunch of people that you haven't met yet that you're going to meet. So I'm excited for you. That are all friends of mine that are in the military down there.
They're in the military right now, or we're in
Yeah.
the military?
No, in. Bunch of Air Force folk.
Oh,
Yeah, they're making the trip from San Antonio to
nice.
Dallas.
I didn't know anything about this.
Yeah, well, as soon as I got the dates, I was like locked down. Tro fucking finally came through the dates. I've been asking for the dates for a minute. He's been busy. I got to give him shit for it, but yeah, it was fucking awesome. So we got the meetup coming up, and let's talk about the really exciting shit. Can we just for a minute?
Are we doing
We're
something?
getting a fucking alcohol license in theory in January. Everything
for
I
the
pushed.
second time.
Yeah.
Round
time.
2. Fight.
This was a permanent one, but like here's the thing, right? So we were told we could probably get this done by the end of the year, but because of schedules and inspectors and all this other shit, it got pushed. So we're gonna brew in January. That's a weird fucking conversation to have because it's been 2 goddamn years.
Yeah, it's been a very expensive 2 years.
Yeah. I'm excited to get it up and running. I can't wait. Like everything's finally together, and it's like we got the parking lot in. How badass does that parking lot look?
You're so like overjoyed in the parking lot. It's
Dude.
just fucking funny. Like it looks good. It looks good, but you're so excited about the parking
Man,
lot. It's like the little things now.
Yeah.
They're like just kind of setting it off.
The
That's
best
like
part
getting your dessert. We're finally getting the dessert.
Yeah, we should have started at the first.
We should have done the damn
parking lot should have been first. Fuck.
The
Right?
sign, the parking lot, because you're getting
Dude.
the dessert now.
Yeah, like the accoutrement, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like we're getting those little tiny pieces done. And it's fucking crazy to me because like a lot of people have I don't know how they've been with you, but from my perspective, like, man, this is like gotta be a passion because I would have given up after like the first 6 months. And I'm like, I'm just too stubborn. I have a fucking plan for my future. And the only way the plan works is if I inch closer and closer to the finish line. That's
No,
it.
it's just like I said when we were starting this whole thing, when you're like, dude, we got to have like people invest, and you having that conversation with Justine, and she's like, are we doing it? I was like, yeah, we're definitely gonna do it. I was like, he's too dumb and too stubborn to fail. Like it's going to happen. And
Yeah.
she's like, and that was pretty much like all she needed to hear was like, he's too dumb to fail. Because she's like, I know JT. And so it was funny. It was just kind of like the conversation 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like over time, it's been like more and more and more and more. So we could get to the finish line, so we could have a little bit of that dessert.
Should have started.
But yeah, it's
parking lot.
God, dude.
Dude, it's been a journey, man. Like we've learned so much about each other. We've become way, way closer, way tighter as a family group and friends. Like we started off as like close friends, and then we became best friends, and now we're family. And that journey of failure, like just because it's like every time you turn around, you're in new uncharted waters. It's like, how do you navigate this?
And just the fight too, right? Because constantly like not like fighting, but like, dude, this isn't gonna work. Going back and forth and like having what do they call it? Constructive criticism and in spirited conversations.
I like that. Spirited. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Just to kind of like to get to that finish line and figure out like how much more we didn't know about each other, or,
Mhm.
how much we didn't know about each other compared to like now where, we're always learning and figuring shit out and, trying to, you know, drive the thing forward. But yeah, the amount of stuff that we didn't actually know about each other is
Crazy.
pretty wild. Yeah.
Like you think you know somebody, and then and here's the best part about it, right? So like I think that journey, and like by the way, if you're trying to start up a business, right, and you don't surround yourself with some hard hitting motherfuckers who are willing to literally get punched in the face in a conversation with you, and then wake up 20 minutes later and be your best friend still, like you got the wrong people.
Well, and I think like we kind of I think we set ourselves up for success when it came to like that portion of it because we said, okay, we're going to do this, but like we're family first and then we
Mhm.
have the business. So don't bring the business shit into the family shit. Like
Yeah, and we
you
all
can
have to.
compartmentalize and be fucking mad at each other at work, but when it's family time, it's family time. Like
Yeah,
I think that was kind of, and like sometimes that doesn't make sense to people or it doesn't resonate or they can't compartmentalize enough to do that. But I think we've all been pretty successful with,
yeah,
compartmentalizing work from like family and
yeah,
just outside just BSing. So
yeah.
I think that's kind of a good separator when it comes to how we've done things versus how other people might do things.
Yeah, well, and also on top of that too, though, we're very vocal about it, right? There's
Hmm.
been time everybody's been called out on it in the company, like where we're like, "Hey, no, 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 this is a vacuum." Like we have to remind each other, especially when we get like 20 fucking hours of drinking in together, because that's kind of how it works. Um, we have to like literally remind each other, like, no, 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 this isn't about coaching. This isn't about your girls. This isn't about this. This is the thing that you're missing. Don't
Hmm.
don't like this is not about anything outside of the thing you're missing. And it's really weird because you have to reflect when somebody calls you out on it. You
Hmm.
literally got to take a step back and be like, "Oh fuck." It's
Yeah,
weird.
well, yeah, and I think it kind of goes along with like I think like the men's mental health portion of it too
Yeah.
is because like what we were talking about last time or a couple times ago was like trying to trying to navigate the things that we're going through and finding out and everything and like now people are on the internet talking about it where like our dads didn't have like the internet to talk about it or whether they're like I don't need to talk about this shit with anybody.
Mhm.
And I think they just didn't really realize that there was that giant group of dudes from what do we say like 30 to like 50 maybe on
Mhm.
up going through the same shit but nobody ever talked about it, so now it's being talked about. And then we took it a step further when we started the company because now we got to talk about and air out all the fucking shit all the time to
Yeah.
make sure that we can keep pushing the thing forward and have some kind of like emotional intelligence on how to accomplish the goals and not kill each other at the same time because
There's many
everybody's
times.
yeah, everybody is like very much a leader in what they do and
Mhm.
just in life that's part of the company. And that definitely makes for interesting spirited conversations from time to time. Some of us are way smoother about it than others. And it is what it is, right? But it was it's kind of like growing pains and I'm sure that we are not out of our trials and tribulations, but we
We
get
got
to
10
learn about
years.
it. Yeah, we get to learn about it, figure out where we fucked up, and then at this point tell everybody else, hey, don't do this. Because
Yeah.
like we could write a book about it,
Yeah.
what the bearded Viking way. And just don't
My
do this,
when I
how to not.
before I die, I will publish some memoirs called The Bearded Viking Way.
Hmm.
It will happen.
Yeah.
And you'll read it and you're like, did a fucking 5-year-old write this in crayon? And the
Yep.
answer is no, because I ate the crayon and I use Siri to transcribe my drunken conversations.
Right.
So whatever
Exactly.
it is what it
It's
is.
like it's like a video diary. Like the podcast is like a video diary of what the fuck is going on.
Dude, it's so
how
fucking
we
funny.
fucked it up and how we're trying to fix it.
Hey, by the way, on that note too, I want to do a huge shout out to the Bearded Viking family because December 28th was the day that Monty passed. Right? It was a brutal day for me, and all of you guys reached out to me, and I just want to tell you guys thanks. It's been 4 years. It doesn't get harder. It just gets easier to deal with each year. This year was awesome. I fucking popped an edible. Vika was like super kind and like she popped an edible and we watched some stupid shit and we were laughing for like forever, ever and ever and ever. And you know, like we had some hilarious conversations that I'll tell you offline because like I don't want to get canceled. So but they were great. I just want to tell everybody thanks for that. That's really important.
Well, it was sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it was funny because when you sent the message, we were all like all over the place.
Yeah.
Like the boat was doing boat things.
Chasing
like
chicks.
Tro was, you know, probably at a concert somewhere. I'm in the middle of the freaking woods. Like
Ryan's trying to fix something that's broken that he broke.
That's broken on the freaking side by side or something. And so like, but it was funny because everybody just randomly was already drinking like whiskey. So just the whiskey pictures that were coming across, like, oh shit, cheers to Monty. That shit was pretty fucking cool.
Just
randomly just totally apart and separated, but like 100% together in mindset.
Yeah, dude. It was wild, right? So speaking of video diaries, and like I think this actually goes to like some of the stuff we're about to talk about, but I use Facebook not because I actually care about likes or reactions or comments or anything like, because most of the time I don't. On Facebook, I just don't, right? But I've been using it for so long, it's actually a documentation of my life.
Like pictures pop up, yeah.
Yeah, right? And so, like, I start getting these fucking photos of Monty, and I'm like, oh, fuck, man. I already knew it was the day. I don't want to deal with the day, right? Like, I just don't. Like, Monty was he is my best friend. He saved my life. He was there when he shouldn't have been, and he was always just unconditional, much like Gunny for you, right? And so, like, the first year was brutal. The first year, I went back to that fucking uncontrollable sobbing in the shower. Like, where you're just, like, fucking singing a song or whatever, and, like, something reminds you of your pup, and you're just, like, fucking Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls, Frankie darling. And you're like, fuck you, dude. Like, I don't ever cry. Like, I don't cry. I just don't. It's not a thing that I do, because, like, when I do, that means to me that there's something terrible or super traumatic that's happened. And like I've lost so many friends that I just have become numb to death with humans. But dude,
yeah, dogs are different, dude. Same thing.
So different.
Same thing. Like being around death and like having friends die or finding friends and stuff like that, and not being able to do anything to bring them back. That shit's fucking hard. But and people, you know, they deal with shit different. But yeah, as far as like crying and doing stuff like that, I'm not a big crier either. And it's just kind of like you've learned it. Like, not probably just more compartmentalization, right?
Yeah.
But
not healthy at all. Not healthy at all.
That's all right. We'll die early. We'll make people rich, right?
Fine.
But yeah, I think I definitely know where you're coming from with that. Dogs are just way fucking better than people.
I'll be around for your 1 year, by the way. So.
Oh, I just had my 1 year.
From Gunny?
Yeah, it was in August.
What?
Yeah.
That was, dude. I really just thought that just barely happened.
It seems like it. Like time we've had a time slip.
Dude, well, that's the thing with Monty, right? So like, my kids call Monty the keeper of the world, the protector of the world, because as soon as Monty passed, like all this bullshit happened with COVID and everything else, and I was like, fuck. It's really weird. Pardon me. That was a little bit different. Oof, that was a deep growl. Anyway, it's weird, right? But like jumping in the men's mental health thing here, right? So having that brotherhood is amazing, right?
Hmm.
But it's the accountability that you all had for me as your friend, as your brother.
Yeah.
That was really important. And there's another example of this recently. So I I get like a lot of messages about the podcast, and I get a lot of messages about like how great we're doing for the Bearded Viking, and all these uplifting messages, which are amazing, right?
Hmm.
And I want to tell everybody keep them coming because like there's been times when
The
I'm like I'm
encouragement.
fucking selling everything so I could just go do the things that I want to do, right? Like I'll just bootleg it, right, in my mind, right? Never actually ever done that, but like that y'all really do that. But here's the main thing that I want to talk about today. Well, there's two main things, right? For the mental health session, right? So there's the accountability of your friends. Now, don't take this as you're holding your friends accountable, but your friends holding you accountable
Hmm.
for checking on them and following up. Because like there's a piece of that puzzle, especially during the holidays, that we miss consistently. And I'll give an example. So my friend, we call him Jaws, because he's got a giant jaw, like a big fucking jaw, right? So I posted a couple things. I'm like, hey, check on your friends during like the holidays. Like I was just like everybody who talks to me a lot knows that I'm fine, right? Like the holidays have actually been great to me lately. Um, knock on that fucking wood though. Um, but like so I posted a couple of things, and then the thing with Amonte, and he was like, hey man, I'm just doing a buddy check real quick on you. Sends me a message, right? You're posting some shit. You're getting me worried. Are you okay? I was like, dude, that is the most epic thing ever. And if I can get somebody to do that for me, they're definitely doing it for their other friends. Because
Yeah.
I don't talk to him all the time. He just
Right.
randomly did it. And that's the accountability because they're holding you accountable, right? And in turn, you need to hold other like yourself accountable to check on your other friends.
It's kind of like that whole pay it forward aspect.
Yeah, dude. Like the what we talked about 2 podcasts ago when I talked to you about like that Christmas one. I couldn't do anything. Like
Hmm.
I'll never meet Lauren again. I hope that dude is just out there fucking killing it, and he's got all of the Miatas in his life,
Right.
all of them, right? But I'll never meet him again, so I got to pay it forward. I got to do right by him because of the memory he gave me, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I think it definitely there's a lot of different aspects of accountability and being held accountable and holding your friends and everybody accountable too. Especially if somebody's not doing good, there's definitely that. But if somebody's just randomly being an asshole, there's probably some kind of underlying factor or something that's going on, or what's what's the reason? What's the
Which which we recently experienced with some really close friends of ours.
Yeah, yeah, and it kind of made me think like, holy shit, like we're not we're like we have to make sure that we're practicing what we preach more. And it kind of worried me a little bit, but I think we're in good shape. Like I think we fixed what we fucked up
Yeah.
as far as like not doing like our close like friends and family type buddy checks like we should. And
Yeah.
I think we kind of learned our lesson with that. Like
Do
not that
you?
anything like nothing drastic happened, just for
No,
those
it
of you
was
that
just,
are listening, but
yeah,
just kind of an oversight. Like we didn't think about it, right?
yeah. Just
So,
one of our strongest members needed to have some dude time with us.
hmm.
Whether it was an hour and a half conversation or it was like hanging out with a couple of guys of the crew or whatever it was, it didn't matter. It just needed to happen, right?
Yeah, 100%.
It's really weird to me because I had literally tried to practice. Like I don't talk to anybody about stuff that I don't do because I don't fucking know what I don't do. You know what I'm saying? Like I just
Hmm.
talk about, and I know you're the same way. That's how we are. And so like it's really weird that like I'll reach out to random people just to say hi, right? but that oversight of your close circle
Hmm.
is such a big step, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
and
crazy.
you don't know that you take that step until you've already taken it, and then you're like, oh, baby steps. Like, what about Bob, right? Like,
Hmm.
baby steps on the elevator, like that fucking thing, right? Like it's like baby steps, and it really goes back to the philosophy that I live my life by, which is really, it's based off of the James Clear book. Fucking like it's my Bible, and I'm having a fucking brain cramp right now. Hold on. But the idea behind it, it's so fucking annoying when I do that. Atomic Habits, right? So it's like the book of Atomic Habits. It's like doing the small things that equal a great thing, right? And you cannot be great unless you have the best supporting cast. And an example for as a metaphor, right? Joe Montana wouldn't be Joe Montana without Jerry Rice and John Taylor and Ronnie Lott and or not Deion Sanders, but like his team, Charles Haley
Yeah, he
or
had a
Brent
supporting
Jones,
cast.
like his supporting cast made him better. And you look at the world and how we are as men, and your supporting cast could either make you the Detroit Lions of 2016, where you're 0 and fucking 16, or you could be, I hate to say this, the undefeated New England Patriots with Tom Brady in 20 whatever that was, 2005, 6, whatever it was, right? Like that is the difference between success and failure. And the biggest thing to me is that your friends need to be empowered to hold you accountable for your happiness.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
it's fucking weird.
Well, and like trying to pick up the thing, pick up what's being put down all the time is fucking. It's hard. Like you hear about those people that like, oh, he was fucking happy. We were just laughing and smiling like a couple days before, and then he shot himself
Hmm.
or something like that. But everybody after is like, dude, there were signs. Like I didn't see it then, but I see it now. So it's really hard to freaking interpret that stuff or like not be that person that's always reading too far into it or something.
Yeah. No,
But so
that's a real statement.
yeah, it's just a really fine line of, you know, did I fuck up? Like,
Well, I think that I would challenge people to actually over and aggressively reach out to your close circle. Like
Hmm.
just be aggressive. Like over communication is okay. Under communication is not. Like
Yeah,
that's
because then it's too
real.
late. Then
Yeah.
it's too late.
And like all of us have had a too late moment. Everybody has.
Hmm.
And it fucking sucks.
Yeah, well, and it kind of makes you feel good too. It kind of gives you a warm and fuzzy feeling, like when you have somebody random reach out, like, "Hey, bud, how you doing?
Hmm.
Haven't heard from you for a while." Because I think we all have like those like really really good people around that are just kind of like acquaintances. You don't talk to them every single day, or like even every week or every month, but just randomly like send a text. Hey, dude, how you doing? Or you receive one back and you get like all warm and fuzzy about it, which is fucking awesome because you're like, oh, they thought about me randomly, or like maybe like something triggered it to them to think about me, or the same with when you reach out to somebody that's random that is one of your buddies
Hmm.
or whatever.
I had a really weird experience. And before we start, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm using this as an example of what's been happening in my life for the past since we started the podcast, right? So I sitting there fucking posting some shit to social media. I don't know, probably taking a picture of my falcon. I don't know. I could have been like trying to stretch my knee. I don't know. Anyway, I got this fucking message, right? Um, and this gal who so she used to be a cocktail waitress at Club Allure when I was a bouncer there, and
Hmm.
she's about 10 years older than me, and she was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that I don't know how you do it, but anytime that I'm feeling down, you post something that's uplifting and brings me back to center." And now her oldest son is a Marine. He served and he got out, and she was worried about him because, all of the things that were going on during the Afghani war and Iraqi war, right? And I was like, I don't really know what to tell you because I don't do that because I'm trying to get likes or have you tell me that. And I really don't ever talk about that outside, outside of our group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's an example. Now here, speaking on what we're talking about, right? I missed a conversation with somebody who I care about and I love deeply because I missed some signs. Now he's not, like I said, like you said, right? There's nothing drastic that happened, but there was definitely a dynamic that had shifted in this person's headspace.
Mm-hmm.
And all it took was just a conversation to reaffirm how much he matters to me,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, I think it's important, and there's a lot of aspects to it too that kind of like dudes don't really talk about,
Well,
or like dudes don't want to have those conversations because then it's like touchy feely
do you
type
think it's
stuff.
do you think it's that, or do you think it's that we as dudes just like we have a conversation that is a one sentence conversation, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
how many times
or
like, oh
just
hey
fucking
JT,
grunt at each other. Yeah.
yeah, JT's coming over and J Balls is like, when? I don't know, I didn't ask. He's gonna come over though. Like,
He'll get here when he gets here.
yeah, like
Yeah, when people
did
start, yeah, like, and it's always the females in our life, right?
yeah,
You know, mom, wife, daughters, like friends that ask you all the questions, and you're like, I don't know.
you're
Well,
like,
why didn't you ask? I don't.
I've never
I
asked
don't
those
care. I don't care.
questions
Said he's
before.
gonna be here, or he's gonna do this, and that was good enough.
Yeah,
Like,
like
I
like
stopped collecting information at that
I
point.
I don't care after that. What do you guys talk about after that? I don't know,
I don't
football
know.
or
Uh,
baseball,
All I
weed
know is that
company
I
shit.
have to start drinking water now.
Because he's
For what's
showing
gonna,
up.
because at some point he'll be here.
You have to understand that when he's here, like he'll be really quiet as long as we're outside. If we're inside,
Right.
he's got a voice that carries, much like mine, right? Like that's a
It's fucking
conversation that you have to have, right? And like you have that reality of um of looking at it from an outside perspective as you grow, as you get older, or gain wisdom, whatever it is you want to say, right? I think it's really getting older because the more
mhm.
time you experience on Earth, the more wise you get because you're like, fuck you, bro.
I
We
was
ain't
like,
doing that shit.
it was super lame. But it totally like fits into what we were talking about. Is while we were up at the cabin, we watched one of the newer Star Trek movies, and Sam goes, "How long do Vulcans live, Dad?" I'm like, I don't know. It's character. So I like Googled it. How old? And it's like it says like 200 years is like around their life expectancy or whatever in this Star Trek world. And I was like, fuck, that would be perfect. And Justine and I were talking about it on the way home. Like, you literally have like your first 100 years to like get smart and become wise, and then your last 100 years, you're just fucking tearing it up.
Yeah,
I was like,
bro.
shit,
Like
I wish we
for
lived for
real.
200 years. We'd have it all figured out.
Yeah. Like there's so much knowledge. It's so wild with that, right? And your friends bring a lot of that to you. They bring these opposing perspectives, which
Hmm.
are super fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
because they challenge you to think when you don't want to think. You're like, two whiskeys deep.
fuck.
Fuck you, bro.
It's
You
so weird
know?
because it seems like, I mean, and some people are never going to have it all figured out. Like, we're not all going to have it figured out, but like the amount of wisdom that you like take with you when you die,
It's
or,
crazy.
the elders, your elders take with you when they die, is
Hmm.
fucking insane. Like the actual like skills and knowledge and stuff that you could never even know the questions to ask them about,
Hmm.
so you could learn it from them. Like, it's just gone. It's gone with them, right? So
Yeah.
I was like, God, that'd be really cool. Like, live 200 years, man. You know how much fucking shit you could get done and accomplish, and like still be tearing it up, be like
Yeah.
going through your midlife crisis at 100. but it kind of
You could
goes in
afford so many Miatas and pink sweater
so
vests.
many, dude.
So
All of
many at
it.
that
I
time.
would just go through a Miata stage, I guess. But yeah, it was kind of a funny thing to think about, and I think it kind of ties in with what we're talking about. Is like maybe we just like we get wiser as we get older, And now
Yeah.
we kind of have a platform to talk about it and like
Yeah.
push like what we're talking about on here with like our friends. Like, hey,
Mhm.
dude, like you good? Like you need anything? Or
I'm a, I'm really excited about this coming year. We got the Patreon coming out, and we're gonna have like different men from different perspectives, and even some females. Like
mhm.
if you're in between, not ready for that. I'm 41. It takes let me ease into that conversation, right? Right?
Don't hit
Like
him with anything too fast.
yeah, you gotta fucking let me adapt
Give
and
him time
chew
to
on it
adapt.
for a
Yeah.
minute. Yeah, like I gotta chew on it and see if I like the flavor,
Shit.
Fuck. Uh, and that's fine too. We'll see how things work out, because we enjoy mental health conversations. Even though we're not mental health professionals, we enjoy them because they challenge us to be better. Like,
Well, it's something different, right?
yeah,
It's something totally different. And I think that starting off the podcast, it wasn't like the exact road that we were planning on going down. I
mhm.
think that we've just kind of maneuvered in a fashion that this is kind of a portion of what we got to talk about.
Well, I mean,
And
it's really important, regardless if it's men's mental health or female's mental health or whatever in
mhm,
between mental health, right? Mental health is so important because, like, we don't want anybody to like call it quits, right? Like, you have more to life to give, and that's really the message that overall we send. And it's cool to me, right, watching your growth because you don't. When I first met you, you were like, I don't have feelings. I'm drunk and I'm happy, or I'm drunk and I'm mad, or I'm mad because homework, or I'm happy because of homework. Whatever it was, that's
just
why we
fucking
first met each
probably
other.
just mad.
Just probably just irritated. Just like you've been walking fucking 7 miles with that like stone in the bottom of your
uh,
boot,
yeah,
and you just never fucking stop because you're too stubborn to stop,
yeah.
right?
Fuck it. I don't want to take all this shit off. Just take this fucking boot off to find a rock that's this big,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then catch back up after I put all my
exactly,
shit back on.
right.
But yeah, I had something interesting that since we're kind of on the topic, and Christy reached out to me, and she's been like one of our coolest or tribe members ever, right?
Yeah,
And she goes, well, talking about like having your tribe, having your group of people. She's like, well, what do you think it is for women? I was like, I don't know. I have no idea because it seems like whenever there's like, a big female friend group, it seems like somebody's always talking smack about somebody or like,
yeah. They talk so much
eh,
shit. I don't get it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why?
Well, and like we're not females, right? We haven't been in our female friend group, right? So I was like, I honestly have no idea. I was like, but I think it's definitely important for dudes to have a group, like a core group of dudes they hang out with. And because like you need that like shot of testosterone, like hanging out with your buddies, doing man shit, or just fucking being retarded. Because we're all fucking children. Like we're all children.
Hard R.
Yeah. And it's funny because like it was a valid question. And then she's like, well, do you think that it's important to have, males and females in like your group and your core? And I was like, I think that like you should have like a group of friends that, there's males and females in, but it's important to like have your dude time and get with your dudes and stuff too. And she was kind of the mindset like, yeah, I think it's important because it's really hard to hang out with just females. Um, just like in a big group all the time. And I was like, I could see that. I don't really know anything about it, but I could see that. Like from the stuff that you like see, like whether your wife had a big friend group or anything like that, it seemed like there was always some kind of turmoil going on. Like and dudes we just like grunt at each other and laugh and like
Yeah, if we have a
whatever.
problem with somebody, we typically state the problem and we'll duke it out, and 5 minutes later we'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we,
Exactly. It's just a different dynamic or different concepts
s- so
of just the way our brains work,
yeah,
males versus females.
I have a weird thought process, and maybe it's not weird, I don't know, on like female friends and male friends, right? So I'm absolutely happy in my life, right? And so like I have a lot of female friends, and I look at it in this weird light of like, hey, are you my friend because you're my friend, or are you my friend because you want something more? And I
Hmm.
think that females do that to an exponential degree, which is good in an aspect and also bad, right? Like, if you're calling a dude to talk shit about your partner, that's wrong.
That's kind of weird.
That's super not okay. And the other side of that thing, I'm a dude. So I know what dudes want. So I'm like really, really like I keep all my female friends at like one arm's distance. Like this is as close as you're ever gonna get to me because I know how like physiologically men work, and I also know that there's moments in which you cannot be in a one-on-one with somebody. So if I am ever
Hmm.
meeting up with a female friend, I always have other friends there because I don't ever want to have a misinterpretation of the meaning of that hangout because I am just a nice person and I just try to be a nice person, right? Um, and I think that's really important. So to speak to what Chrissy's saying, like, here's the thing, like, I'm not a girl either. I have a female. I have no fucking understanding of like why women work the way they do, and I'm never going to try to because it's not going to work. Like,
I don't
you
want to
ever,
know. Yeah.
yeah, like you ever asked a girl, like a lady, like what colors are your favorite colors? They come off with some crazy ass like, well, I like fuchsia. Oh, you like red. Oh, I like periwinkle. What the fuck is that? Light blue?
Blue.
Blue?
That's baby
It's
blue.
light blue, dark blue, medium blue. What are we looking at? In between? All right, right? Or I like whatever. And that's an example of like how there's a communication gap between males and females because I could state something in a very, very monotone, like
Hmm.
just a middle of the road tone, and like it can come across as me being a dick. But
Hmm.
there's no me
No,
being
like
a dick said.
implication. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a statement of fact from my perspective,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, I think yeah, it's all the perspective of kind of what you're going for. And I'm sure that somebody has that secret recipe for the females out there. And like when she asked me the question, I was like, I don't really know. So I'm not a female, but I would imagine, it would be a little bit more difficult. But you tell me,
Well, I think it all comes down to if something bad happens, who's going to show up and who's never going to say a word. Like,
Yeah,
and if you
even
don't have any friends that are that way, then you got the wrong friend group. Like, I don't know how to say that to women because I don't. They have like 74,000 more feelings than my four.
right. Mad, hungry,
Yeah, right.
happy,
Happy
tired.
and yeah, whatever it is, like whatever your
Right.
four are, like that is what it is. Like I don't really have that. I don't have that, and I don't think any dude will ever have that, and I don't think that women will ever like understand the fact that like we are simple creatures as men. Like, and
I'd like somebody to reach out, like a female to reach out that like listens
yeah,
and say like, this is how I manage my friend, or
oh
not
yeah,
manage, but this is like how I,
create my friend
how
group.
my,
Yeah,
yeah, my friend group, my female friend group. And a lot of females are more comfortable hanging out with dudes because it's way less emotional,
yeah.
and dudes are dudes.
Dudes are not comfortable hanging out with females.
Yeah, it's just,
Like the dude that's comfortable hanging out with you wants to get in your pants. Let's be real.
yeah, I mean, like if it's like a single thing, like
It's
everybody's
a
single, but I
morality
think,
thing.
yeah, but I think like as far as like if like I have a big, a good group of friends that, where they have wives and everything like that. And it's like nobody would ever try and make it past like somebody else's wife or
But that's
anything like
also
that. But
but we've also
like,
refined our friend group though too. Make sure we establish that.
yeah, yeah, and that's true. And there's definitely people out there that like you could trust, in a room with your wife naked, and you'd have full trust with them. And then there's other people that are like, no, dude, and like just stay the fuck away.
Like
And
no, no.
you'll figure that out as time goes. But yeah, I think as far as like, friends like that, I think, yeah, what you know, it's not
We're,
like I'm not hanging out with your wife to try and bang your wife or anything like that. You know, it's like if you're in like single dude and you're hanging out with females and stuff like that, yeah, you probably got like ulterior motives. But you know, that is what it is. But I think it can
yeah.
go both ways. I think it's possible to have like friends that are females and not worry about anything like that. Or
Well, I
but
always, I mean, I do. I have friends that are females that like I have no physical attraction to. I don't really care, and even if I did, I'm still a moral person in the aspect of like I'm just not going to make that decision because I have found my partner in life, and I
mhm,
always want to try to empower my partner, right? And so if I detract from empowering my partner because like there's a concept of something else that might be out there,
mhm,
I just steer away from the situation, right? Like I have great friends that are females, like great friends, and we've had like ups and downs as friends, just like anybody else. But like at the same time, though, for me as a dude, they're not inner circle friends. I
mhm,
just don't. I can't relate on the levels that they need me to relate, but I'm still their friend. I'm a close friend, right? I'm not gonna be there for them when they break up with their boyfriend because I don't care. That happens. Like life is what it is. Or but I'll be there if they need to talk to somebody and I'll listen and then I'll
mhm.
say, "Hey, I don't know where you're going through because I'm not you." You know. I think that we're both the same way.
I think well, and I think I totally get your perspective of like just don't put yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's like somebody that's attractive or anything like that, like just don't put yourself in that situation. Then you know absolutely that nothing could ever go wrong, or you know mistakes won't be made.
Yeah.
Right? Don't put yourself in that situation.
All it takes is just a little too much alcohol and then you're not you.
Yeah.
Which as an alcohol company is is really important to tell people, but at the same time it's like drink some more mead. So, you want some
Yeah.
bathtub hooch
Yeah. It's like yeah. You want some hooch? Drink it at home.
with your wife or your
Don't go out.
girlfriend.
Don't go out and make bad decisions.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I think it's kind of it's two like different perspectives for sure, and kind of situational. I know
Yeah.
that there's a lot of people, especially in like the corporate world, that don't want their door shut if there's a female in their office, and it's
Yeah.
just one on one because so many things can be misconstrued,
Mhm.
especially you know, and there's been so many times, especially like in the military, where somebody's like, "Oh, sexual harassment," and like nothing happened, but they were in there in the office with the door shut so nobody else could hear or anything else. And
Yeah.
it was like one person's word against the other. And did anything happen? Nope. But it didn't matter because she
Yeah.
said it.
Well, and
Uh,
I think that's the hard part for us as men to relate with women to be friends, right?
mhm.
Like we have to walk on eggshells
Yeah,
because our
in some cases,
yeah,
you know,
there's there's the hold on, let's make sure we talk about like the bell curve, right? You have the
mhm,
standard, which is what I'm saying, and then you have the one-offs, which are the people that we associate with in our lives, which are not
mhm,
going to put us in this situation. Because like when as you age, I think that we make smarter choices mostly. Boat,
mostly age out
boat,
of it, age out of
boat,
it.
boat.
Hey, he's living his best life, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I love you.
He's
I
waited
love you.
all his life to live his life right
Yeah,
now.
right today.
Right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really important. One thing that we do need to make sure that we also understand, like as a community, right? Whether you're a male or a female or a Ferris wheel or whatever, um, like we need to empower our partners. And when I talk about that, I'm saying that in the aspect of like you have to set a precedent for yourself and lead by example so that way you can have dude time or girl time or
Mhm.
Ferris wheel time, right? And like we do that really well with us because like if there's ever a situation that arises that could be misconstrued, everybody is there to say, mm-mm,
That's not how that worked. That's
That's
not how that went down.
nope, no, nope,
No.
nope, 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 nope. Right? But we want so on men's mental health, you're only as good as yourself and your surrounding cast. And if you have a partner, your partner is your Scottie Pippen. If you're Michael Jordan, right? That is a truth because you cannot go anywhere in your life if you have a terrible supporting partner and or if you're the terrible supporting partner. So you need to empower your partner to be as great as they can be. And that's really hard because we all have egos.
Hmm. Yeah, I think at least as like I've got older, um, I think it's more important to be positive and be happy for people
Yeah.
than to try and like drag them down or be like I can't believe that happened to that person. Like that person sucks. Or like,
Yeah.
like trying to just be more positive than be shitty. Cause
Hmm.
I think we've all spent like a good portion being shitty. So now I think it's time to try and right those wrongs and try and, be more positive about it and kind of be more like uplifting and supportive of people down.
Hmm.
But I think that's kind of like something that we've have to figure out, you know, as we
Yeah.
get older and try to be less assholey.
I don't think you have to be less assholey. I think you're just protecting your own. I think you are who you are always, right? And so I think as you grow into this, like you go through different stages, especially with partners in life, right? So you start off and you're in like that like fucking honeymoon area, right? Where they can do no wrong, right? And then you wake up a little bit and then like they're doing shit that irritates you, but you've never communicated it, so you expect that, right? Like you now they understand, like they've never had a pushback on it, right? And
Hmm.
so so and then you're doing shit that's driving them nuts, right? And those things end up in big arguments that don't need to be big arguments. They don't have to be conversations you should even have. You just have to establish your expectations. Beyond that, there's also this weird thing that's happening right now where there's like real men and then there's these fuck boys and then there's these misogynists, right? And there's a lot of the misogyny is happening right now because of the feminist movement, so it's the counter to it and it's not right, right? It's
Yeah.
it's like, hey, listen, you guys are really good at a lot of things that we're not good at, and we're good at things that you're not good at. Like, I want to see you, like, pick up all of this fucking sheet metal and put it on the roof by yourself. It's not going to happen, right? I mean, maybe it will, like, you'll have a random one off or whatever, but like, and then they can multitask. And I can literally barely carry on a conversation with one person at a time, let alone think about something else,
Hmm.
and so like, or they're really really good at like they have that fine detail typically, and I'm talking about they being you female folk. They have the fine detail, and I'm like living at 30,000 foot view. Like I don't
Yeah.
fine detail to me is
I'm
not a
like,
thing I
let's get
do.
this like just enough where you can understand it and get it done.
Yeah, then
Like
they're in
nothing more,
the
nothing less.
yeah. Like I'm not gonna go down that path. This is the text message conversation. Like what time, when I have to make the house clean. No, you don't. It's fucking Al coming over. Like he knows that we live here. As long as
Right.
there's not dog shit on the floor, it doesn't matter. No, no, no. House has got to be clean. It's like, does it though?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be like
Like,
spotless. Like,
you don't have to vacuum. We're gonna fucking get shit on the carpet. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't,
like,
like
like
dirt
you,
is gonna get tracked in.
yeah. It's like when I come to your house, like, there's no reason for anything at all of your house to be cleaner than it is when you live in it. Like, and from their perspective, it's different. I think the hardest part is when your partner is smarter than you, or or makes more money than you, right?
Yeah, I would say that my wife is way smarter than I am,
Mm.
and she does make more money than me, but I don't care. I feel like I just, I played up, um,
Same.
and like make jokes about it because I think it's funny, and out kicking your coverage is freaking awesome, right?
Yeah. I mean, like the reality is if you're leveling up, then you're leveling up, right? and we lose track of that in the realm of life because like people always like people have egos. And
Mhm.
the reality is those egos, they're good sometimes, but realistically they're not good most of the time.
Yeah, well, and the thing is too is I think like some dudes are really really bothered by not making more than their spouse or whatever, but they're not looking at it from the perspective of who cares. Like it's all going into the same pot. Like we're taking care of our family
Mhm.
and others around us and stuff. So does it really fucking matter? You
No, I
know?
don't. Yeah, it should never matter.
Yeah.
If she's into you and she cares about you and she lifts you up when you're down, like she picks you up when you're down and makes you walk the walk while you're down to get through while you're down, and she's there when nobody else is, that's a person for you, right? Same thing for gals, right? Like we've already had conversations about the nice guy. Fuck the nice guy. Like the guy for you is the guy for you, right? Like
Hmm.
the reality is this, right? Is if you hold yourself accountable to empowering your partner, as long as it's not toxic. When I'm not talking like toxic man, I'm just talking about like a toxic relationship where somebody's taking advantage of the other,
Yeah.
right? Right?
Or just
Then
like that whole matches and gasoline type relationship.
yeah, don't do that. That's not good. Just just don't.
Yeah, it's in the yeah, definitely. You're always gonna have to work at it, right? It's never gonna be perfect. So, you know, always keep that in mind.
Yeah,
But
it's never going to end either. Like every day you have to wake up and be committed to making the appropriate changes.
yeah, and there's so many people out there now that are just like um immediately like ready to throw in the towel and just get a divorce because it's easier.
Yeah.
And like that's one of those things where like I'm not into it. Like I'm not just gonna I'm not throwing in the towel. Like sorry, bro, you're stuck with me. And
Yeah.
she says the same thing to me. She's like, sorry, dude. Like you're stuck with me. So it's like, but like you're constantly working at stuff, constantly getting better. You know,
Mhm.
figuring out different ways to communicate or like um stay not committed, but like stay like active in your relationship.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a real big step.
yeah, because like people
So,
get comfortable and then just stop.
caring.
You know, yeah, stop like caring, stop like trying to take care of each other, make each other happy, or things like that. So I don't know.
Hmm. I mean, like
The same
nobody
thing
kn
isn't gonna work for everybody.
no, you got to fill it out and you got to work it out and you have to have open conversations, which this podcast is maybe way better at. I have still so much to learn though in life. Like I have so much. Like
Right.
even though that you and I talk like weekly and daily and hourly and whatever it is, like I still think that we can be better as best friends and brothers. And same thing with Doc and Tro and everybody else. It's like this like I have a quote that I actually putting up into the newsletter and I want to read it real quick, but this also applies to us in communication, right? So the quote's called hard work. So hard work, struggles, heartache, and strife, these are the prerequisites for greatness. Once your perceived greatness is achieved, innovation, continued education, and hard work become your trade craft. So let's stop real quick and talk about that real quick. So in a relationship, you are doing all of those things. You're working hard, right? You have tons of struggle. You have heartache. You have strife, whether it's financial strife or whatever that is, right? Those, if you can work through those and you can figure out how to work through those with your partner and empower your partner and they're empowering you, then you move to a different level, right? Like you've ascended basic relationship status, right? So once your perceived greatness is achieved, innovation, continued education, wow, that was fucking hard to say, and hard work become your trade craft, right? So think about that, right? In a relationship, or in your life, right? You've achieved greatness. This is the greatest thing that you've ever had, but it's not going to stay, right? So you have to work for it. You have to continuously educate yourself on how to communicate with your partner and empower your partner and love your partner, right? You have to work harder than anybody else, and you have to innovate new ways to create that physical and emotional connection that we all need to be
Hmm.
better, right? And that also goes on any other aspect of your life. Reflection on your journey becomes the standard. So you look back and see where you were and how you've grown and how you can continue to be better, right? And growth becomes a second nature. So you're now just constantly growing because you're focusing on this, right? So when you've achieved all of this, you've achieved all of these things, it's time to rinse and repeat the cycle. You're going to consistently receive struggles, heartaches, and strife. You're going to have to work harder than anybody else for what you want. And if you don't think that's true, then you've never achieved greatness. You've just lucked out, right? And you're not, that luck isn't going to last for a lifetime. It's never going to be there for a
Well, and
lifetime.
it's perceived greatness too, right? Like
Yeah.
I can't see the quote, right? But I think it's perceived. It's like self-perceived
Yeah.
greatness, and I think it might not be, in the quote. It doesn't sound like it's this, big, huge, like crowning achievement that everybody knows. It's just
Mhm.
your self-perceived greatness. Like
Yep. Yeah.
this is what I was trying for. This is the steps that I took to get here. I'm here.
Right.
What's next? What's
So
my
that,
next goal?
right. And so in that exact same statement, right, that you just said, so once you've achieved these things in your own mind, it's time to rinse and repeat the cycle. For greatness does not stay with the lazy, the weak, or the weak-hearted, or the vain.
Hmm.
Remember to work harder than anyone else, and when life gets hard, work harder than life. That's my quote, and I wrote it actually when we experienced the first few hiccups with the Bearded Viking Meat Company. But it applies to so many aspects of life. It's not just about yourself, it's about your relationships, it's about your career, it's about everything, your education, whatever you're trying to do.
Hmm. Well, and I think it's definitely important that we don't stop, right? Because
Yeah,
once we get to brewing in the meadery, it's not over.
that's the
Then
beginning.
our next goal is, here, and then after we hit that, you know, rinse and repeat, and we got another whole fucking set of goals. So it's like it's constantly turning over and changing, and it took us longer than we wanted to get to, step one, but that's the goal. And
Mhm.
it's not to be like short-sighted, or it's hard to plan for things you have no idea about, right?
Yeah.
And what we're doing, we have no idea. I mean, we have a little bit of an idea, but like as far as, everything in the future, the things that are to come, we have some people that can give us guidance, but we don't really have an exact idea of what's going to happen.
No, I mean,
So
and just go ahead. Sorry.
we're just constantly going to be kind of reinventing the wheel because we've never done it before.
Yeah, we didn't
And
even know the wheel was round.
right, it might not be.
It's right now it's a triangle.
Right now, it might not be. But we're just like a
Yeah.
tank rolling on tracks. We're just trying to blast through stuff. But yeah, we'll rinse and repeat over and over and over again.
And
And
it's really important to do that in your personal life and for your partner, which should be your closest relationship with your friend group, like your close friends. It's really really important to emphasize those things because if you don't, then you end up on this thing of complacency, and complacency kills. It's never
mhm.
not killed. It's like Father Time. It's undefeated. Like it really
Reigning champ.
reigning champ, dude. Complacency fucking murders everything that you think that is good. Right? An example of that is Bud Light when they went woke. They thought
Mhm.
that they were the top dog, and then they went woke and they did their thing, and then they lost hundreds of billions of dollars. That's fucking crazy, right? Because they got
Mhm.
complacent with the brand.
Well, and the thing is too is like there's some people that are going back to them and stuff, and that's okay. like even like Kid Rock was like, I think they paid for it. They paid for it. Like,
Yeah.
and this was a guy that was like shooting machine guns into, you know, stacks of Bud Light. And he's like, I think they served their time. They paid for it. He's like, he's like, I didn't want to condemn the company forever. I just wanted them to stop getting involved in shit that they shouldn't be in. And that's,
Yeah.
not a direct quote. It's just kind of
Like
more,
yeah, it's a
more,
Jarl quote. Yeah.
it's just like more or less what he was getting at, from,
Jarl
from my
perspective.
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's right, but the problem is all those people that went away from the company because of that bullshit, they found other beers that they liked.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that found other beers and stuff that they liked, and they're sticking with that. And some people will go back, and it's whatever. It'll
And
always
there's
be a funny joke, right?
hmm?
Uh, but the reality is like, can they come back from it? Yeah, they probably will at some point. It's gonna take some time. It's definitely gonna take some time for that company
Yeah.
to come back the way they were before. But
Mhm.
I'm sure they'll get there. But yeah, I think a lot of people found out other shit that they liked
I think
because
so.
they didn't want to
Yeah.
be part of the bullshit.
But take that to your personal life too, right? All it takes is a bad decision for your
Hmm.
partner with your partner, right? Like
Hmm.
the reality is we are literally always one decision away from ruining our own lives.
Yeah, just from wrecking shit.
Yeah.
Wrecking
Like
crew.
right? And don't be a wrecking crew, right? Be a meathead, be a mead maiden, but don't make dumb choices. And if you make dumb choices, own it, be accountable, and like make sure your friends are holding you accountable and you're holding your friends accountable. Like we've talked about this like ad nauseum, like to the point where like you can't beat a dead horse, right? But you really have to say it often so that you live that truth, right?
It's like a
We say
reminder
it,
to yourself.
yeah, we've lived it so long that we lived it so long that we forgot that the core values of who we are, and we didn't reach out to one or two individuals that needed us to reach out,
Hmm.
right? And then that same thing goes to your spouse, your partner, your whatever you want to call them, your fucking fellow Ferris wheel, whatever. Um, like you have to reach out and you have to focus on them because they're they're going to only be a mirror of you with your commitment, and that's how humans are, right? Like
Yeah.
they commit to
Having
you
that
as much.
counterpoint.
Yeah. So all right, so let's wrap up the men's mental health part. So hold your friends accountable and empower your partner. Empower them to the point where they can't do anything else but empower you back because you are so supportive. And if you're in a relationship where you're not receiving empowerment back, probably look at your relationship status.
Talk
Have an
about it.
open, yeah, talk
Yeah.
about it, have an open conversation. And if that conversation changes, it doesn't come out the way that it needs to come out, then look at yourself and decide whether or not you're in a situation that's good for you and good for them and make that decision from there. All right, so gonna move on. I actually have
Do we have time to move
we
on?
I don't give a fuck, dude. Like we got like 20-ish minutes. He the Bo ain't got no net zero anymore. He got Google Fiber.
Yeah, he's fibering now, bro.
He's fibering now, so
He
whatever.
threw his AOL disc away.
Facts. He just crumpled that shit up in the mail. No, I will not adhere anymore. All right. So we had a great conversation earlier this week with a dear friend and dear listener, in regards to you, you remember what Murph was sending us? Sending us?
Oh yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. So on our last podcast, or one of our last I can't like they all are the same to me because we're just hanging out and talking about cool shit. Um, so the Murph, Rob, this is for you. We're talking about the pyramids and all the gold and um like Egyptian artifacts that were found in the
Grand Canyon.
Oh
Hey.
shit!
Bless you.
Sorry, I'm allergic to Rob's bullshit.
So
Anyway.
yeah, his argument was pretty funny though. He's like, well, the Smithsonian said it isn't real. So, and there's no. Did you just dap?
Yeah, I did.
Like a sneeze dap.
Perfect.
But yeah, so he's like, if the Smithsonian says that it's not real, then it's probably, and that there was never any record of him, and yada yada yada. I was like, wait, go on DuckDuckGo and pull everything up, and like the first 3 articles are like the Smithsonian this, Smithsonian that, and then it goes like into the meat of it, and like where the article was, and all that stuff that he that was written and put in the paper and everything. I was like, don't you think that if the Smithsonian says that it's not true, it's probably a pretty solid fact that it's true.
Right. So
There's a solid chance that it's true.
My response to him, I thought, was pretty like evident, like of like, hey, and this is where we got you, motherfucker. Gotcha, bitch. Right? It was. At what point did you start trusting the federal government? Well, I don't. Oh. So
Bing bang boom.
Right. Gotcha, bitch. Love you, man. But like the thing is like you can't trust anything anymore on the internet. Like you really can't. Like you don't even have to trust us.
It's so filtered, dude. It's so bad.
It's so weird. It's super fucking annoying because like it used to be this great tool and now it's just like not. Right?
Do you want to talk about something just like completely outlandish?
Let's do it. I just
Like
want to let Rob know that you're fucking wrong.
So like when you go and like you're kind of trolling YouTube, and like I like to listen to like some of like the fictional like scary stories and stuff like that, like creepypasta stuff.
Yeah.
And to me it's kind of cool, it's funny, and like it just like the imagination that some people have is pretty awesome. But you hear a lot of the stories that have to do with like zombies, or like a secret zombie outbreak, and like the government goes and quells it, or like they found it in a lab or something.
Weird.
So like some of these stories are so like they're so crazy that it seems like they might be true. Like somebody telling the story, like a real story in a fictional format.
Yeah. They don't want to get fucking. They don't want to get Clintons.
They don't want to get Hillary, dude. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, are they really zombies? Or are they like in a lab somewhere, or somebody created the virus and been able to like keep it under wraps they created, other things in a lab, right? And look at us now. But is there like a legit zombie virus out there?
Let me ask you this question, right? So like we have all these stories about like vampires, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, where they're like this fucking like under like they're basically the deep state.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen a picture of Jeffrey Epstein and Thomas Jefferson next to each other?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's this weird thing that I had like subconsciously admitted to myself this is real. But like I start seeing more and more and more of these things, right? Where like you have like a zombie quilled apocalypse that's about to break out, right? And Jack Bauer fucking shows up and murders all the fucking zombies, right? In his latest episode of 24, right? Keith Sutherland's over there fucking just murdering fucking
just
zombies,
fucking
and nobody ever cares, right? And he's only got like 13 rounds in his fucking 9mm.
That never reloads.
That never reloads. But okay, maybe. And then you have like vampires, which we talked about before, where it was like what would you rather be, a vampire or a werewolf? Well, yeah, a werewolf, because fucking I don't want my skin to glimmer.
Yeah, I want to go out in the daytime.
I like the sun.
Get a suntan, yeah.
Yeah, like it's
there's
weird.
There's like lots of things that like it's like they're vampires, or they're lizard people, or just there's a whole like sleuth of
aren't
there's
something vampires else. Anyways?
Yeah, not like necessarily, but yeah, like you see like the picture of like Keanu Reeves, and then you see the dude from the 1800s that looks exactly like Keanu Reeves and stuff. And I'm like, earlier we are talking about living to 200, and like, what if some of these people are really like, maybe that's how they got it all figured out, bro? Is like, even though there's like one with Eddie Murphy too, where the guy looks exactly like Eddie Murphy, has like the same gap and everything in his teeth, and I'm like, wait, hang on, maybe some of this shit's true. it's
No,
a
I mean,
it's a total trip.
it's really weird because we talked about MK Ultra and like having the media in front of you and they're telling you stories and all these things about what's about to happen, right? And it's like this weird premonition that they're doing that they don't know they're doing, but they're doing, right? It's weird because I look at it in this crazy thing, right? So let's start off this piece with, we all know that Jeffrey Epstein is not dead. He was a Mossad
Yeah.
agent who's been alive for fucking 400 years.
Dude,
Like,
he's like, it's so weird because, and the thing is like, if if it really is like people living for a long time, then now they're gonna have to do something drastic so these people can start over and continue, because there's TV now, there's films, there's cameras, so people that may have like been alive for a long time, they
now
can't hide. They can't hide it now.
no, they
There's
can though. Here's how. So did you watch that thing that I sent you about the fucking ancient microchips from like Tartaria?
Oh yeah.
All right, so here's the thing, right? So theoretically, they found like these ancient microchips in a fossilized form. So I don't know how true this is, right? For me, it's a stretch, right? I believe in a lot of things, but this is a stretch for me to believe, right? But they're like found like microchips from like 2,000 years ago, which makes sense for a lot of the things we've talked about in the podcast, the monoliths and all these things, right? These
Yeah,
crazy, like this crazy math ability that we don't have anymore because like we're dumb
we're
now,
dumb now. Yeah.
right? And so like there's this theory that there was a great extinction. So known human record or known record, historical record says there's 5 great extinctions. Cool. But what happened to Tartaria? What happened to all of these things? Like how, like people like look at the pyramids and they're like, we don't know how they did that. Because the closest place for granite was like 500 miles away. And you're trying to tell me that they drug that shit there on oxes?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I think what you're saying though is that they can restart. They can knock it down and restart again.
Yeah.
And but that's something big. They have to do something big to continue doing what they're
Exactly.
doing.
That's what I'm saying. Like
But
it
yeah.
was the same group of people or things, beings are like, well, that experiment didn't work out this way. Let's move on to experiment. Like,
Let's
hit the
try
kill
again.
button. Let's try
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Right?
Like the ones that'll live, they'll repopulate it or whatever, and then we can start over again. But yeah, it's kind of like an interesting thing to think about.
It's not
And
even paranormal. It's just like, is it
it's just
like
it's thought provoking, right? Is that really what's happening? Is that
we're
what's been
all
happening for the last 247 years or whatever?
we're we're almost 100% on conspiracy theories at this point in my life.
Dude, I know we're batting 1,000 right now, I think.
Like the only one that I have that's a conspiracy theory is not really real but could be real. It's because the fashion industry like rules the world, right? Like John F. Kennedy was assassinated by those 2 lookers on the fucking grassy knoll, and they're actually hand models.
It's like Zoolander shit.
That's the only one that's not real,
It's
but
the
it
only
could
one.
it's
Maybe
plausible.
there was
I
that
don't
one
know.
lady that nobody could figure out who she was, and
Yeah,
then they
right.
found it out. And she was a CIA
Like,
agent, and
right.
she didn't even move when the gunshots went off. So it's
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
I
she
don't
knew. Maybe
know
she's a
what happened. She
robot.
was there.
She's a
Yeah,
vampire. I don't know what she was,
yeah.
but
She
yeah.
was just doing her job.
Yeah. Like she's like, surprise, bitches.
Yeah, and then there's that video of like the dude reaching back that's in the car with Kennedy, shooting Kennedy and clipping the governor. Like there's so much. And like they said they were gonna release the files, and then the files haven't been released. So it's like at this point almost everybody that's involved with it is dead now. But they're
Yeah.
still so terrified to release those files unredacted
Oh,
because there's
dude.
going to be something huge in there that is going to fuck something up, and that's why
Alright.
they won't do it.
What do you know about Julius Assange?
The WikiLeaks guy,
Yeah.
Julian Assange.
Julian. Yeah, Julian. Sorry, I said Julius, but yeah. I was thinking like Julius Caesar. Same.
It's close enough.
What do you know about him?
I mean,
Like the first whistleblower.
the Cliff Notes. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he pretty much has files on everybody, and he's
Yeah.
not been charged with anything, and he's still having to live in like an embassy because they keep wanting to extradite him for crimes that he hasn't been charged with.
Did you see what came out today?
No, I didn't.
So, CIA is under indictment for improper monitoring of a U.S. citizens. So this is after what was it, the 9/11 bill, the Patriot Act.
Mm-hmm. So his Fourth Amendment, the violation of his Fourth Amendment.
Yeah. So now the CIA is under investigation, which means all of the files about him are now public record.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is there public record?
Yeah.
Because
I saw it like 25 times today.
I can't see. I'm like on the news right now, and I can't see anything about Assange.
I mean,
unless it's like page 10 news.
Of course, it's gonna be buried in the background. It's like you're right next to the fucking like obituaries.
It's right next to the shitter. Is it the back of the airplane?
Yeah, right. So like the thing is it like because of that, because the CIA is under investigation. Hey, CIA, by the way, we like what you do 67% of the time, every time.
Oh man, I don't know. Like the FBI is fucking dirty. The CIA seems like they were good guys, but they might be bad guys now. Like it's very confusing.
I don't even know where we're at in the world anymore because like we used to be like the good guys and now we're the bad guy. We're the villain. It's like that weird. I feel like we are the
villain in the movie. Yeah, we're the
weird quote. You live long enough as the hero to become the villain, and so we're that.
Yeah, now. Yeah, we're Batman running from the cops right now. It's a trip.
Yeah. So anyway, look it up, dude. Because like I saw it. We've been busy all day. I was gonna send you the information so that way you could rabbit hole, but I also know you have like a party plan tonight. So like I was gonna send it to you till tomorrow.
It'll give me some time to do some light reading.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like now because the investigation is happening, right? And the CIA is being investigated. Now all of it, the names are redacted, right? Because you can't expose spies, which is fine. I don't care. I don't care what you guys do in the dark. Like I sleep really good on top of my mountain because you do some shit in the dark. It's fine. But when it starts infringing on American rights, that's where I do start caring.
Well, and the thing, you'll have to send it to me because I can't find anything right now. But the stuff about his extradition, and it looks like his next appeal or his next and final appeal for his extradition is in February. But yeah, that's interesting. I'm really curious about what the CIA is doing.
Yeah, I'm not curious about it that much because
I think he has the potential, and they're afraid of him. The governments are afraid of him. The U.S. government is definitely afraid of him. So that's why they've made him an enemy of the state without charging him really with anything. So
it's super fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, well, and it's like they tried to do it to Snowden too.
Yeah.
And I think that's still ongoing. It's like anybody that has anything on these fucking guys and starts to release those truth bombs, is all of a sudden now an enemy. And the dude's not even from the United States. Like, who cares? If just because he found the shit, he's releasing it, and some of it might be painful to people that are in power, but don't be fucking shitty and then you don't have to worry about that shit.
Yeah, just fucking be a good person. All right, so not really like as much paranormal as we wanted. What we normally do. A lot of
That's more like
conspiracy.
yeah,
Yeah,
conspiracy shit for sure.
it's like conspiracy corner with vampires. Lizard people, whatever.
Lizard people, yeah.
Yeah, totally
Fuck
good.
you guys.
I can't wait for the boat to edit this and be like, fuck, I thought we were going to talk about paranormal shit. Now we're in conspiracy corner.
Son of a
fine.
bitch, this keeps happening.
Fuck. I'm going to tell him to watch the whole thing, all the way through, and then come back and edit it the right way. All right, cool. So I think we're about ready to wrap up, but like some good food for thought, right? Like, I think from my perspective, if there's this like saying like seeing is not believing, but believing is seeing.
Hmm.
I don't think that's real anymore.
No, everything is like in the shadows, right? The
Yeah,
only thing
doesn't-
that you have control of is you and like your family and
Kind of just
maybe
you.
yeah. Well, and like I guess the only thing that you have like a real scope on is like you, your family, and those people that are around you.
Yeah.
And they might have different ideas than you, but that like that core, that's what's going to keep you safe if something bad goes down. And that's who, they're going to turn to you, you're going to turn to them, because different people have different skills, and we can't make it by ourselves.
If
Flat
you
out.
were a meathead or a mead maiden, rally point, read point.
Rally point, read point. Rally point, Romeo.
Yeah. So I think we can wrap up. We have a
Do it.
lot to unpack on the next episode.
Dude, let's wrap it like a holiday ham.
I cannot wait for Doc to come in and give a Ryan's Rants fucking moment about this.
I know we should have him. We should save that topic and
Just
do it
for
again
him.
just for Ryan's Rants.
We should probably just do a whole episode about that.
I think
no men's mental health.
just conspiracy corner.
Just throw him at like conspiracy. See what you got. He'll say plausible.
It's plausible. It's plausible.
It's plausible. All right. Cool. Let me do some shout outs real quick.
Okay.
Cool. So I want to do some shout outs for non-companies today.
Not for non-companies?
Yeah. Like we need to do some shout outs to people who are just repping our shit.
Oh, to people. Just our peeps. Just our crew.
Yeah, the et.
The
Or the tribe, or whatever you want to call us. But it's called a net. Anyway, AETT. All right. I want to start off with some people that have been here the entire time. They like, comment, and subscribe to our page. Make sure y'all are commenting, please. Like, we're just growing this, and we want more people to see it. And like, there's an algorithm that we have to do. I don't actually really like to beg for that shit. And if you made it this far, then like, you're here. Right. So I'd like to do a shout out to, I'm going to start off with the ladies first. Amber Lukes and Christy Blankenship. Awesome. Fucking been mead maidens the entire time.
the
entirety of us, right? Huge shout out to John Hook, John Wall, Nick Halverson. You guys are like literally make this podcast fun because you guys are awesome. Give us great feedback, great information. I love it.
And talk massive amounts of shit. It's awesome.
Facts. Yeah, I love it. Rob, Bryce, even though you're wrong. Love you, man. Super love it. And to the boat as well for doing all the editing, because it's like freed up.
Legit could not do it without him.
Nah, not at all. Bob Campbell, Marty Hopes. Thanks, gents. Love you guys. And Martin Antonio for allowing us to use his intro. Michael Summers for his outro. And to our partners, right? Natasha.
That put up with our work.
Yeah. Natasha, Justine, and Mona. Like, you guys put up with all of our bullshit because, like, I'm sure that we have chores to do. Always, every time.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's
And
prepping for a party upstairs right now.
by herself.
Yeah.
And
Yelling
Mona's
at the
upstairs-
kids.
Mona's upstairs cooking some like beer battered shrimp with her mom.
Nice.
Like, I just want to let you guys know we all love you. We love you all from the bottom of our heart, and this podcast could not go without y'all.
We're going into a new year.
Yeah. So hey, happy New Year, motherfucker!
Happy New Year. Yeah.
By the time you all hear this, it'll be the New Year. So
It'll be 24.
it's weird.
So tonight, the party that we're throwing, we decided a couple days we're just going to throw a party.
Yeah.
And we're doing it is a 20s themed party. So we got to bring the 20s back since we're living in the 20s, right?
Bro, I'm gonna just be Jack Bauer
Jack Bauer.
because of 24.
You're so lame.
Don't be jealous.
I'm
If
so
Jack
jelly.
Bauer wishes he could grow a beard this good,
Dude,
it's real. So
you might. I don't know.
happy New Year's, motherfuckers.
Happy
I'm
New Year's.
Blaco. Bearded
I'm
one.
y'all. Stay weird, weirdos.
Cheers.
You know what you're doing. You
Drink your fucking
played
water.
this game
I had to
before.
hydrate a little bit. Oh, God, that
Your
kind
mind was made up. Once you walk through the door.